I heard this song for the first time. I actually liked it.
Who's the
girl?
Casey Musgrave.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not a big country guy. I don't have a problem with it. There's some songs I do enjoy.
I only select few now. I think country's very watered down.
Yeah. But this to me is like got a bluesy, raspy. And Zach Bryan, I didn't even know the guy. Motherfucker sold out in 5 minutes or something. I don't know.
Got a name like Zach Bryan though.
I know. Zach Bryan.
Zach Brown.
Zach Brown. Luke Bryan.
It's just a weird name to have.
It is. Yeah. It's kind of like, you know what it is? It's like the old radio days. The guy who does our voice stuff in the beginning.
From the Mac of Alter.
His name is Harry Legg.
Yes.
He came to town. His name was Scott James.
Right.
The reason his name was Scott James was he worked for a top 40 station in Cleveland or Columbus, Ohio. And when they hired him, they were too cheap to have their voice guy recut something with a name. And he wasn't going by Harry Legg because that would be bad, right? So then they did what's called splicing. They had a guy like James, I think it was James Woods and Scott Shannon or whoever, and they just made him Scott James. They sliced the names in of the voice guy of the station doing names, and that's how his name became Scott James. He wasn't Scott James when he got there, so he kept that name on the radio. And then we found out, I think through the Wii show, that he was Harry Legg. And then there it was. And then Harry's gone on to be a big voice guy himself. Does voice work everywhere. His real name's Harry Legg, but he was Scott James, like a Zach Bryan. So I wonder if he just, Luke Bryan and Zach Brown and put his name together. That was who he emulated. I have no idea. I don't know anything about the guy. A couple things. When I was scrolling today, I don't know if anybody saw. Did anybody see the video of the Las Vegas judge? Got attacked in the courtroom. She's sentencing a guy. You didn't see this?
I briefly saw it, but I didn't see.
No, this
is recent.
This is
recent.
today or yesterday. Let me play you the news clip. I think it happened yesterday. This is the news clip. Then I went and I had to find, because again, I saw this on social media. I'll give you my comments on it, but here's the news.
Now at 6, it is the story everybody is talking about tonight. A judge attacked in a Las Vegas courtroom, and it's all on video. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Charms.
And I'm Vanessa Murphy. This is
David Charm.
Now investigators first broke. Sources telling us the judge and a marshal were injured, but they are okay. Take a look at the video we first obtained.
This dude, he goes like a fly. I mean, this is one of the most athletic things I've ever seen. He jumped. You know how high a judge's thing? He leaps up like a flying squirrel, all four out over the thing, and gets to her.
Shackled or not shackled?
Not shackled.
With substantial bodily harm.
That would have been more impressive.
Defense attorney asking for probation. It appears Holthace was going to give him prison time. That's when he lunged over and attacked her. A court marshal and clerk immediately jumping in here to try to stop that attack. Redden will face additional charges now of battery and battery on a protected person.
Now you worked in a court. Did you ever see? Did anybody ever see anybody lose it?
Oh, all the time. Yeah,
but not get violent.
Not get violent, but
yelling.
Yeah.
Well, it's an emotional time. People, you got to learn to keep your emotions.
Most of the yelling at town court, though, it's when they have 700 people come in for traffic court.
Yeah,
and somebody trying to cut the line or.
Well, some have been, somebody one of them was that she lost her kid to the father or something.
Oh, custody disputes? That was before family court. Okay, go on.
No, but it was something else that it might have been a traffic ticket or something, but she started yelling about that.
Oh, okay.
And she said Greece was racist, and stuff like that. So
yeah.
This is now. I wish I got to get that website going. I got to talk to some people because I'd love to post this video. This guy leaps up like a flying squirrel, but athletically over top, gets to the judge. So there's a bailiff who starts, but the first person there is this younger, pudgy clerk. Like or I don't know what he is.
That would have been me.
Right. Okay. Gets over. He grabs this guy, and then I think the guy gets to the judge. She's on the ground. I thought maybe at one point because they get him up and she could get away, but I think he gets her again. Like he grabs her back and gets her, and you see the clerk punching the guy, right? But he's hitting him like a hammer, like this. And I'm like, that's how you could break your hand doing that. I felt like, I'm like, you got to get in there. Give him some gut shots. Give him some rib shots, something. Try to knock the wind out of him.
Am I a bad person? Because I'd be like, oh, my knee. Oh, my back.
Well, there's one guy.
Just let him go. Just let him go.
One of the lawyers just walks up and watches. That's all he does.
A taste of something else.
Get my phone out.
I just can't with that history.
This is
in accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court.
He's over it. It's nuts. I'm like, you're pissed off. You spent a year in jail already. You're in for something else.
Now you're in for 5.
Now
Nice
you just added 10.
Right.
You just added 10 to this thing. You're an idiot.
Yeah, I'm that lazy one. There's bailiffs here. They're armed. Let them handle it. I'm over here.
Well, we see more and more.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree too. I think you're right. No, I think that's a smart thing.
I mean, we were
the less involved, the better.
How much shit do I get around court though afterwards?
Oh, I'd give you shit.
Well, I know you would.
Way to go, mall cop.
But I'm just the clerk collecting passed out the paper saying, "Hey, pay this day."
People are killing this poor clerk because he punches. I'm sorry. The old term would be he punches like a sissy. You know, he's like, "Hey, quit it." That's what it looks like when you watch the video. That's what it looks like. Because I'm going, get in there, get a kidney shot on the guy.
Probably never punched anybody in his life.
Okay.
Probably never ever been in that position before.
Yeah, I either do nothing or I climb up on the table and come off the top rope.
Yeah,
that's right.
Now that
it's one or the other, one extreme or the other, nothing or all.
Well, behavior is I don't know, because I always go back to this thought. We see everything. When did a video 30 years ago of Nevada, we'd see it on the news. We wouldn't see it on our phones when we're scrolling, taking a dump. You know what I mean? I mean, we see everything.
Well, the shitty thing is in New York, you can't even get that because they don't allow cameras in the courtroom. You would never even get a video here.
This must be from the court. Yeah, I didn't even think about that because most of the time you can't
maybe
film
Nevada
and
you
say,
can have.
Who knows?
Each state's different, but I know New York you can't have
your phone in there or anything.
You can't have anything in there.
Yeah. Somebody did put now. Just in terms of behavior and things, this is an odd one. Maybe you guys have experienced this. Several people say they have. This is from was posted on Rochester Reddit. I hope this isn't a dumb question, but I'm curious on other people's thoughts. Last week, I was approached while leaving the Pittsford Wegmans by a woman in her mid-20s. I had my earbuds in, so I honestly didn't catch everything she was saying. But the gist was that she had her quote-unquote friends back in the car, and they were hosting a Bible study and wanted to invite other women to join. I'm 28. I cut her off and went to my car. I texted my stepmom. She's a young-looking 50. I don't know why that's relevant to this post, but the woman did write this on the Rochester Reddit. And told her about how weird it was. And she said she's gotten that same thing 3 times now, but at Webster Target, where women are coming up to other women and saying, we're hosting a Bible study in the car. Do you want to join us? I got to tell you, I would think that's as shady as shit to me.
I was going to say sex trafficking until you said the 50-year-old got it too.
I don't know, hot 50-year-old. Maybe that's why this woman said young looking 50. In a parking lot, the lighting's bad. It's a little dark out. I can't tell.
But a Pittsford Wegmans.
Pittsford
that's
Wegmans.
Where it's in a Webster.
Webster Target, Pittsford Wegmans, and told her about. Let me finish this. She got it 3 times, but at Webster Target tonight it happened again, making it 4 times now. Could this be a trafficking attempt, or am I overthinking it? I know there has been known trafficking attempts in the area in the past couple of years. I was just curious. Either way, everyone be careful. Now, then people commented, happened to me at the Penfield Wegmans, happened to me at the, there was a bunch of places, mostly East Side.
Yeah, see, East Side, you got to dodge Jesus. West Side, you got to dodge punches.
Yeah, I don't think there was any West Side places mentioned. It was Pittsford Wegmans, Webster Target, Penfield Wegmans, somebody said. Someone else said they had it in a Penfield Target parking lot, which is really close. Those two stores are close.
Luckily, I look the way I look. I never get targeted for any of that
Have
stuff.
you seen that? It would be weird if you were approached in a parking lot. It's a weird thing.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't trust.
Other than the normal, hey, I need $1 to get on the bus. So
Yeah, that one I'm used to.
I don't trust. I don't trust many things nowadays. Like, I had a weird request the other day. I have $90 cash. I'm uncomfortable having $90 cash. Can I give it to you and then you cash at me $90? And for whatever reason, I go, something ain't right here. I just didn't feel right to me. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe it's not a weird thing.
Did you know the person?
Vaguely. And they're like, I just don't like having that much cash on me.
Was it the $20 bill and the $70 bill that threw you off?
Just was like, yeah, the $70 bill. Now, someone did comment on this Reddit thing. This is the World Mission Society Church of God. I don't know them. They are a cult originating from South Korea.
Oh, hello.
They approach at Wegman Target. They approach at Wegmans and Targets like this. It's always been young people for me. I feel bad that they get caught up in this, but I also don't get how they do. There's some wacky stuff this cult believes. I don't know how, why anyone joins after a simple Google search. They're very well trained in deflecting with out-of-context Bible verses if you have any criticisms or counter answers to them on what they believe. So I found it weird because I would tell you, like, if there was a woman in my life that got approached, I'd be like,
have fun, see.
You know what they started? You know what
see, I wouldn't. And I'm the single guy.
See, what they started doing, Jehovah's Witnesses, a bunch of years ago, is they sent two young hot girls out. So you'll talk to them because you're not going to talk to two.
Well, that's brilliant marketing.
Too old. You're not going to talk to two old.
That's why
people.
the only Bible verse I ever quote is Raw 3:16.
What do you mean? If you and I showed up on the doorstep of some people, you don't think they'd open up and talk to us?
This way, you think? Am I talking to me and you? No, but if two hot girls come up, you want to talk to Jehovah's Witness?
What's the ring doorbell showing? Mark and Bill.
We should do
that. And Lenny.
That would be a very funny experiment, like social experiment.
Send Stephanie and send those two out
and us
and
do a video and see who actually
Stephanie, Lauren, and me and Mark.
Yes,
yeah,
the two homeless looking guys.
I didn't know they were doing that, but I hadn't heard of this either. Women being approached, and there was a bunch of people who said, "Yeah, it's happened." I don't know if you know anything about it. 585-206-8866.
Yeah,
it's kind of I would find it unsettling.
It does. It sounds weird to me, but because
the thing is,
because it's on the east side, something about it sounds it might be okay though. What do you mean? If this was on the west side, I'd be like, "Fuck no, get away from that."
I don't know. I don't care where it would be. Like in terms of town, I would be uncomfortable. Like Greece is a nice suburb. It's
North
nice.
Greece.
Yeah. Okay. North Greece. Yeah. I say I don't know. I only know North Greece. That's where Kevin lives. That's where
I live.
Yeah, that's where you live.
I grew up, but
that's
I grew
where Bill
up
leaves his bank card.
Yeah, I did. I left my bank card.
I grew up
and got it back.
I grew up in the area with the Kodak area, which was nice when I was growing up. But now, that's what we call the ghetto of Greece.
Oh, that's the ghetto of Greece now?
Yes. All right. Yeah, that's why we all moved out to North Greece.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It just would be like, I don't think I've been, I get uncomfortable when I'm approached for anything. Now, there are a couple of homeless guys in Fairport, and they live down.
They live in a 3-bedroom.
They live in I think in the culvert pipe down under the canal here or something.
That's good. It's warm down there.
Yeah, I guess. But the other day, one homeless guy was sick of the other homeless guy. This is true. And it was New Year's Eve during the Bills game, and he walked him into Mulconry's and goes, "That's the owner." And he walked out, and you could tell like they were both homeless. And the one guy's are, and so Damien was very, very kind and very nice, and tried to help the guy a little bit. But it makes people uncomfortable because you don't know what someone's mental state is.
Oh, I dealt with that on a daily basis.
What do you mean?
When I was at the liquor store, you never knew
what somebody's mental state is.
Oh, coming in and asking for money.
Coming in, yeah.
It was all the time.
But like being approached in a parking lot, I don't think I could. And
I don't admit that makes me nervous because you don't know.
Well, look, I'll tell you this. I don't think Wegmans would stand for that because it's their customers. That's their property. That's private property. So if you're out there, and it's a fucking shady thing. By the way, I want to know this. What's your hit rate? How successful are you in getting another woman to join women?
Yeah, what's your
in
quota?
The car? What's the hit? No, but what's the hit rate? What's your success rate? Is there one woman that goes, "Hey, great idea. I was just thinking to myself, Jesus, I need Jesus. This would be great."
Bubblegum theory. All it takes is one.
No, I understand that, but I want to know. Now I'm curious. I'll tell you what. You know what I would do? If I were with a chick, I'd go, listen, I'm going to send you out there to bait. I want to know what's going on.
Let's do it.
We'll wire you. We'll see. If you get approached, go, and I'll be close by, and I'll listen in.
I got an idea. Let's call the girl from Wayne County. And let's have her do it.
No, I'm not doing the girl.
They don't have Jesus in Wayne County.
I know. We bring her up here. She'll be our guinea pig.
I did see another thing that jumped off the page to me a little bit on Reddit today. Today was a bad day. I was crying and having an anxiety attack in the Penfield Burger King by Tops.
What the hell's wrong with these East Side people?
While waiting for a lot of stress over here, Mark. A lot of stress.
Stress eating those
holidays.
That's right.
Getting the kids back to school. My wine club can't meet tonight. The book club. So you know what? I went there and Tanya did not read the book. Very stressful.
That bitch, Tanya. Every time.
While waiting for mobile order, the cashier with a line of people noticed my distress, offered me a drink, and was truly so kind. Her kindness has been on my mind ever since. If you happen to see this, seriously, thank you. Your kindness is so appreciated. I'm sorry if my tears made the lunch rush awkward. You're a real MVP. I thought that was sweet. Have you ever seen anybody lose it, emotionally lose it? And I don't mean maybe mentally ah!
No, it's usually the other way around. It's the Karen situation.
Yeah.
But you ever see anybody just start bawling? If you saw a woman start bawling,
I can't deal with that shit.
you can't deal with it.
No.
If you saw a woman bawling,
I'd run.
would you be? You would run. You wouldn't be compelled to go over.
You'd walk
Okay, hang on a second. If it was what you deem an attractive woman,
Okay.
and she's bawling,
Stephanie Ed's bawling at Burger King.
would you walk over and try to say, "Is everything okay? How can I help you?"
So I mean, I just don't like when people cry.
What if you did this? Jesus Christ, pull it together. No,
That I've done.
well, that probably with a girlfriend, but just some
Or
stranger.
owning a bar.
Some stranger. Some stranger.
You know, yeah. I mean, Kev just hit it on the nose. It used to
owning
happen
a
at the
bar.
bar all the time.
Yeah. What would you do if you saw a woman crying? You ever see a woman just start, or anybody, man or
It's usually
woman?
when I'm in the general vicinity, they start crying.
Have you ever lost it in public where you started crying?
Man, I can't.
Oh,
I don't
come on,
know.
buddy.
I got to think about that because
Where you cried in public?
Obviously,
I haven't.
I don't know if I have.
I don't know either. Now that I think about it,
I think.
does the Kansas City does the 13-second Bills Kansas City count?
Did you cry?
Oh, tears are coming down my eyes. I don't know if I was crying.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We'll allow
Does
it.
that count?
We'll allow it.
I like to think most people would be empathetic. The assholes in every situation, they always get the attention. We see the asshole. We see the guy. I don't know how many courts are around this country at every level. They were all in. Every one of them was active over the last 48 hours, and only one of them had a guy leap over. That's the one we see, right? You understand what I'm saying?
No, I'm going to give you an example, too, of what you're seeing, because you're 110% right.
We always see the worst, and then we go, "What's happening in society?" There's always bad, and we're a big country, and people are assholes.
Do you know who names I know of the kids at school?
The bad ones.
Of course.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hardly know any of the good kids.
No, because the good kids are
Right.
They're meeting the expectation.
Right.
We don't need to pay attention to them.
And yeah, so
Right.
right. Most people that need the attention are the bad kids, who are really aren't. Who
I got a lot of attention. I was very quiet as a kid up to 10th grade, and then I don't know if it was puberty or what kicked in. But at that point in my life, and I will tell you, I turned 15, for whatever reason, had this very, very vivid thought in my head that every adult in my life was absolutely 100% full of shit in every way.
Right.
My parents, my teachers, they were all full of shit. They were like all full of shit. And I don't know that was very fair, but I just figured, and I was like, fuck it. And that was kind of where I was like, fuck it, I'm going to do whatever I want. And I didn't do homework and I didn't do stuff. And somebody asked me recently, what was the most memorable, do you remember a teacher or a really memorable teacher that said something to you? And the first one that popped into my head was I had a teacher that I really loved, but the first one that popped in my head was my 12th grade English teacher, or maybe my 11th grade English teacher. It was my 11th grade English teacher. And we used to have to read books, and then we would discuss them in class, and you had to write essays. I did the reading. Hardly anybody participated in the discussion, so I was in all the discussions. So I figured, fuck it, I'm not writing the paper.
Right.
I didn't. So at the end of the year, she said to me, your father told me you were going to write all these papers. Well, I want these papers. And I said, okay. And I never did. So now it's the regents. You had to sit in New York State in the gym in all the rows with your desk. And everybody around the state started at the same time.
That one
they had
kid in every gym farted.
And they were all sealed, right? And everybody got to crack it open. And she came up to my desk in the gym where voices echo. And she says, did you do the essays like your father told me you would? And I said, no, I didn't. And she looked at me and she goes, I hope you fail. And I was like,
get the fuck out of here and let me take the test.
I got a 90.
There you go. So the essays didn't mean shit.
No, and I knew it. And that was my point. At 15, like I was fairly quiet, pretty good kid. I had a little mischief here and there, a little pranky shit, but almost like, I don't know, Leave It to Beaver kind of, right? It was an old reference, but that kind of shit. Nothing that was outrageous. Then I turned 15 and the shit just went off the charts. That's when I was shitting from the top of the ceiling into the bowl, see if I could hit it. It was all kind
You know she hated giving you that 90 too.
Yeah, I think she did. I swear to God. I would love to see
you probably had a 97, but she marked it down a little bit.
I'm sure in some way because and then she loved my younger brother.
Everybody likes your younger brother.
Everybody did. I'm 8 years older than him. I come back for his high school graduation.
Did he write the papers?
I walk out on the deck of my parents' house. Who's there? That teacher.
Did she acknowledge you?
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Moran, how are you? I was like, God damn, even though my parents' own house, I can't get away from you. It's awful.
She wanted to smash you when you were that age.
Yeah, she wanted to
No,
get
she
you.
didn't.
Yeah, she wanted a little taste.
No, she did not.
She wanted a more animal.
All right, I want to ask you this, Mark. We're all a villain in somebody's story.
Oh, fuck
We're
yeah.
all a villain in somebody's story. Whose story are you a villain in? Can you think of that? And we'll get the answer
That's
next.
interesting.